want to give you 3 reasons why I believe the mindset of a gladiator is so important, and why you have to have the mindset to be able to not only survive, but succeed in the future. 80% of business is psychology, and only 20% is implementation. What is a recession or a depression? My definition, never found this in a dictionary, is everyone collectively feeling bad at the same time. That's what it is. Everyone just feels bad and depressed at the same time. So they don't want to venture out, they don't want to make decisions, etc., etc. So if you can go against the tide, this provides you with the greatest opportunity to win business, build market share, do things differently, build relationships, and most importantly, come out the other side flying. Make sense? So let me give you some examples. Joe F. Kennedy, 1929, right in the heart of the greatest depression this world's ever seen, was worth $4 million. By 1932, he was worth $184 million. Sir John Templeton, he's the greatest investor of the last century on the planet, basically. He literally invested in Poland 2 days after Germany invaded them in 1939. He invested in Japan, I think the day or 2 days after Japan had the atomic bomb dropped on them. He invested in Argentina literally within the week of when England invaded Argentina. And he then went on to build absolute massive fortune. Warren Buffett's investment strategy is be fearful when everyone else is greedy, and greedy when everyone else is fearful. It's all about bucking the trend. Now, just to give you some example of companies, IBM, Apple, Microsoft, FedEx, in our own country, Pam Golding, all started in a massive recession. It's actually easier to get going and to build market share in these times than it is in good times. But I'll be honest with you, I put it down to 3 things. My 3 things. Firstly, he who provides the most perceived value will win. That's not necessarily value, it's the most perceived value. Now let me explain that. You have to fall in love with your clients. You have to become a necessity, not just an accessory. You have to turn your clients into raving fans. Now let me explain to you quickly what a raving fan is. Has anyone ever heard of Zappos? Other than Alexi. Okay, ladies, I'm very surprised you haven't heard of Zappos because they sell nice shoes. Now, just as a matter of interest, I go to America, I'm sitting in Vegas with 700 other people, and Tony Shea walks out and he says, guys, has anyone here heard of Zappos? And I promise you, you would have thought that it was Bonner from U2 who just walked onto the stage. They stood up, screamed, and went mad. I'd never heard of Zappos in January 2010. And I couldn't understand what was going on. And I was like, who the hell is Zappos? They sell shoes online. How the hell can you get people screaming about a company that sells shoes online? They did it. And that's your objective. You've got to turn your clients into raving fans. Now, write that name down, Zappos, Z-A-P-P-O-S, because you spoke about, Jimmy, you spoke about electronic media and everything else. They're at the forefront. Everything they're doing, copy. Seriously. They're the best of the best. So why not just copy them? They went from 0 to $1 billion in 10 years. And I'm going to share with you through the day, and if you want to ask me questions about them, I'm going to share with you things that they do that blow your mind. Stuff that I can't even work out how the business model works. They send you a pair of shoes, ladies, for free. Boom, it arrives. You can get 3 sets. They arrive. You have 6 months. No questions asked return policy. 6 months. Explain that to me. In this country, well, A, you would never get your shoes back, but more importantly, like if you did, the heel would be like half down. Yeah, I have them back. I don't want them. They don't suit me. You know? So, but they do that. And they've got absolutely raving fans. And they're not a bankrupt company. They're worth $1 billion. So that's my first one for you. It's about adding perceived value. The second one for me, and it's slightly a cliched, but learners are earners and readers are leaders. Now, what I mean by that, do you know that according to a Harvard study, 58% of people never attend another course never read another nonfiction book. 58% never read another nonfiction book once they leave school. 58%. 90% of people never attend another course once they leave school. 90%. So I want to applaud you because you're already in the top 10%. Can you see how easy it is to win? Because your competitors are sitting out there thinking, yes, it's hard in this market right now, I can't make sales, blah, blah, blah. But what are they actually doing about it? Nothing. Anyone ever heard of that saying from Einstein? The definition of insanity. If you continue to do what you've always done and expect different results, it's insane. So 90% of your competitors are sitting out there complaining about the market and yet doing bugger all about it. Blows my mind. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is that your problems are your best friend. Let me explain myself. I want you to just take 30 seconds and write down when you had a big problem that at the time seemed monumental, but as you worked through it, it actually turned out to be one of your greatest assets. Think about when you had a problem that turned out to be a great asset. It doesn't have to be business. I always use the analogy because it can help a lot of people understand what I'm saying. Has anyone here ever been in a relationship? I know I certainly have. And I'm dating this girl and I'm completely infatuated with her, and then she breaks up with me. And I'm like, my world has come to an end. And I go see my mate, come up to Alexi, and I say, Alexi, crushes, my life has ended. You know, Sarah's broken up with me, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, mate, she was the worst thing ever for you. Like, we as a group of mates are so happy it's over. And you're like, buddy, I've been dating for 6 months. Like, why didn't you tell me that? He goes, we've been trying. Okay, cool. Three weeks later, your life has improved immeasurably. And you're like, Alexi, Christ's bugger, why didn't you tell me? It was the best thing ever. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So often when you're caught up in problems, they can be your greatest opportunity. And I honestly believe that's why I say that number 3, your problems are your greatest friend. Right now, where the current market is going to be one of your best friends for the people that survive and then thrive. Because you've lost your competitors. What was your biggest challenge 3 or 4 years ago? Too many agents? New qualifications? For me, it was the market was so easy to sell that you had so many inept people. Developers, you were competing with bucky builders. They didn't even know how to price a project, but they would always come in cheaper than you because they didn't know how to price it anyway. But you didn't know how to show your client the problem that they actually had. As real estate, estate agents, we had the same problem because people couldn't. So the difference is the problems, they've just changed. But the difference is now is that those people that upskill and really position themselves, the market will be theirs for a very long time. Does that make sense?